Okay. Welcome everyone. So, who will chant today?
दीप्ति जी अगर कहें तो मैं पर ना आप औरों से पूछ ले. आई थिंक एवरीवन शुड. आप पहले.
Anybody else wants to? Anybody else wants to chant? नहीं.
तो मैं
आप ही कर लें.
आपको फॉलो
ठीक है.
करूं.
हाँ जी.
राइट.
Recording has started.
दिख रहा है?
जी.
Okay, we are starting then. Om Sahana Vavatu
सहना भवतु.
Sahanau Bhunaktu
सहनौ भुनक्तु.
Saha Viryam Karavavahai
सह वीर्यं करवावहै.
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु.
मा विद्विषावहै
मा विद्विषावहै.
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
ओम शांति शांति शांति.
वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगित्रम्
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं
नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं.
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय
तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते.
तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते.
नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासम्
नित्यं शुद्धं निराभासम्
निराकारं निरञ्जनम्
निराकारं निरञ्जनम्
नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दम्
नित्यबोधं चिदानन्दम्
गुरुं ब्रह्म नमाम्यहम्.
गुरुं ब्रह्म नमाम्यहम्.
साधनचतुष्टयसम्पन्ना
साधनचतुष्टय सम्पन्ना
अधिकारिणाम्
अधिकारिणां
मोक्षसाधनभूतम्
मोक्षसाधनभूतम्
तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारम्
तत्त्वविवेकप्रकारम्
वक्ष्यामः.
वक्ष्यामः.
साधनचतुष्टयं किम्?
साधनचतुष्टयं किम्?
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
शमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः
समाधिषट्कसम्पत्तिः
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति
मुमुक्षुत्वं चेति
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः?
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः नित्यवस्तु विवेकः कः
नित्यवस्त्वेकं ब्रह्म
नित्यवस्तुवेकं ब्रह्म
तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वमनित्यम्
तद्व्यतिरिक्तं सर्वमनित्यम्
अयमेव
अयमेव
नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
विरागः कः
विरागः कः
इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्
इह स्वर्गभोगेषु इच्छाराहित्यम्
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
इहामुत्रार्थफलभोगविरागः
शमादिसाधनसम्पत्तिः का
क्षमादिसाधनसम्पत्तिः कः
शमः
क्षमः
शमोदम उपरतिः
क्षमोदम् उपरतिः
तितीक्षा श्रद्धा समाधान च इति
तितीक्षा श्रद्धा समाधानं च इति
शमः कः
क्षमः कः
मनोनिग्रहः
मनोनिग्रहः
दमः कः
दमः कः
चक्षुरादि बाह्येन्द्रियनिग्रहः
चक्षुरादिबाह्येन्द्रिय निग्रहः
उपरमः कः
उपरमः कः
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव
स्वधर्मानुष्ठानमेव
तितीक्षा का
तितीक्षा का
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादि
शीतोष्णसुखदुःखादि
सहिष्णुत्वम्
सहिष्णुत्वम्
श्रद्धा कीदृशी
श्रद्धा कीदृशी
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्यादिषु विश्वासः
गुरुवेदान्तवाक्यादिषु विश्वासः
समाधानं किम्
समाधानं किम्
चित्तैकाग्रता
चित्तैकाग्रता
Thank you.
Thank you very
So we
much.
are going to start the next quality in the sadhana chatushtayam, and in particular in shamadama adi shatka sampatti, which is samadhanam. So if we saw before in the definition, shama, dama, uparati, titiksha, shraddha, samadhanam, the sixfold amalgamation, wealth, inner wealth of one's qualities in the form of the capacity to handle one's own self, one's own antakaranam, one's own mind in general, in the form of mind restraint or mind control or thought control, to be very simple. Our capacity to control our thought is shama. Dama is our capacity to control our senses. Uparati is our capacity to withdraw the mind and keep it steady, in the sense of withdrawn from its non-essential engagements. our capacity to willfully withdraw the mind's attention from areas which are non-conducive for one's own mental health and general health. So our capacity to willfully bring the thoughts back to the topic which is useful, beneficial, call it positive in general terms. Things that are useful for us, beneficial for us. So our capacity to keep our mind on it is uparati. Titiksha, endurance, a cheerful endurance. With reference to all the pairs of opposites that life throws on us during the course of our life. So capacity to not let situations and circumstances overpower our stability, our mental composure, our mental balance. That was Titiksha. Shraddha, we just concluded, is that capacity in us where we are able to follow the alaukik praman, means we are able to follow the words of here Vedanta Shastra and sustain that following till we are able to also see it. So I find that I may not understand things straight away, all of it. Some I will, some I won't. But my capacity to sustain my interest, my mind staying with it. You see, when we don't have an interest in something, we can't keep our mind focused on it. It's not easy. So if I don't understand something over and over again, I can hold my mind for few classes maybe. But if it doesn't interest me, I'm not going to be able to hold my mind. But when I have Shraddha, I understand that I may not fully appreciate everything that I hear. I do not lose my interest in knowing it. And Shraddha helps me to keep at it till I have understood and till I have started seeing the reality of it. Satya Buddhi in it. That was Shraddha. Now we come to the last one, Samadhanam. Samadhanam the definition given here is Chittaikagrata. Chittaikagrata. And if you break up the words, it is Chitta Eka Agra. That ta there is referring to making the whole compound a abstract noun which reflects as a status of the mind. An abstract noun which means it is now the condition of the mind. Your capacity to make it one, eka. चित्त में एकाग्रता लाना. Agra means what is in front of me. What holds in front of me, my capacity to hold my mind on it for a length of time, whatever is required by it. This is said as, in general terms, concentration or focus. Our capacity to sustain concentration, focus, together. Why this word is beautiful is because by nature we have seen whatever little we have seen so far. Mind has the tendency to run away with the senses. Bahar nikalta hai. बहता है. And it's the correct thing. Nothing wrong with it. It needs to. It has to be connected with the senses and it has to report the sensations. But that external behna of the mind means I am shifting the focus too soon before I have got the full perception. My mind already runs away into something else. Supposing, you take a child to a toy shop. By the time they're seeing one toy and they're, oh, I want this, they see another toy. By the time you're, managing, that attention's gone to the other toy and then to the other toy and then suddenly the mind is overwhelmed and it just wants too many things at that point. Talking with the child. This losing focus or not having complete focus, there'll be 2-3 layers in it again that I'm going to point at. This is the first starting point. Chitta ekagrata means just holding the focus on whatever is in front of me. Whatever it is. Agra, jo mere aage hai. My capacity of the mind to be attentive to what is in front of me. Allowing the full perception to surface. This sentence is a little to be digested. As in the example of the child, while it is seeing one toy, अभी तो उसने पूरा उसको एब्जॉर्ब भी नहीं किया टॉय को, उसका मन निकल गया दूसरे टॉय पे. Suddenly there was excitement of the other toy. So before it could even allow the whole perception to form, पूरा का पूरा विषय मन में बैठे तक के लिए माइंड को रोक के रखना वहां पे. And then allowing it to go to the next one, no problem, that is okay. You allow it to move, but you are the one who is sustaining the focus, who is keeping the focus. Mind has been kept focused. Our best example always is in general classes, when you go to schools and colleges in your times, how many of us have been extremely naughty people? We have been naughty or we have been easily distracted. Teacher kuch keh rahe hain, hamara dhyan kahin aur hai, etc. Happens with everyone at an experience. Mind is running away, knowing fully well that it has to be here. We allow it, thinking it's okay. This letting the mind loose and flowing away with it is losing ekagrata. Ekagra hona. The best example of ekagrata is Arjun. Arjun, when he was shooting the eye of the bird hanging on the tree, looking at the reflection of the bird in a pot of water below, seeing below was shooting above, a moving bird. That is a highlight of mind's capacity for everyone. It's a highlight to say that is the minimum level of achievement of ekagrata. If someone practices long enough, it is this level of ekagrata that one can achieve. That level of focus, that level of concentration. Again, as I said, these terms, when you will try and understand them in English, you will have a stunted meaning. You will have to appreciate that the English communication is only to help us get closer to the real meaning. But Samadhanam by itself and Chitta चित्त की एकाग्रता by itself is a complete meaning. When I say focus, I do get the idea that I have to focus. Like now, for example, for people who have practiced this for long, even just as a practice, you just start saying, okay, now for next half an hour, I am not going to let my mind go anywhere. I'll just let the words fall. Let them just fall. I'm not interfering with the process. Very often what happens is, in our attempt to even understand something, that focus, concentrate, वो कर करा के वैसे ही individual बैठ जाता है. I need to focus. I need to focus. I need to concentrate. That if I don't concentrate, all those aspects of little fear and anxiousness, they actually dissipate the ekagrata. What is ekagrata? Ekagrata is actually such a relaxed state of mind that whatever falls in front of it, the mind holds it. In a relaxed mind, ekagrata is very spontaneous. It is actually effortless. But why do we need practice? We need practice when we are trying to focus the object, topic of the focus I have chosen. When you go for say walks or somewhere, wherever, even in this is one thing that you can practice in a lot of ways. If you're in a group of friends, casual friends, say school buddies and college buddies and etc., old friends meeting and somewhere, wherever, and you pop in and pop out of conversations as a practice. You pop in the conversation so that nobody thinks that you're not participating, and you pop out of the conversation and stay with Samadhanam, allowing everybody and every sensation to fall into you. When you just allow, it can happen anywhere. You go for a walk, you do any moment. You can jump back into the state of being ekagra. When you're not conscious of ekagrata, then you are thinking focus and concentration is on something. I need a topic, no? Like now, supposing the class is there, so I need to concentrate on the class. I need to focus. So many children are stressed out because the adults are constantly hounding them by saying, focus nahi karte ho, fix a goal, have focus in your life, do something, your life will get wasted, concentrate more in your studies. If you concentrate more, you'll get better, you'll get more marks, you'll get anxiousness. But if you just manage to convey to the child that he needs to learn to develop an interest in something. Wherever his interest is, wherever your interest is, initial stages I'm saying, you will find that automatically your focus stays there. मन अपने आप वहां ठहरता है, जहां हमारी इच्छाएं हैं, जहां हमारा इंटरेस्ट है, जिस सब्जेक्ट में हमारा इंटरेस्ट है, वहां मन रुक जाता है, थोड़ी देर के लिए रुकता है. But the capacity to just, now as adults, that is for children, but as adults, that capacity to not be interfering with any thought and leaving the mind collected is the right word. यहाँ बहा है, so with every thought, every sensation it goes out, the mind is kept here and letting the perception fall in. आंख देख रही है, ला तो अंदर ही रही है ना ऑब्जेक्ट को. Supposing I have a cup of tea in front of me, my eye is seeing the cup of tea, my nose is smelling the tea, my tongue is tasting the tea, all of it is actually coming back within me. The cup seems to be outside of me. Now, if I'm not conscious, then my mind goes to it because I have to reach it. There's nothing wrong. I have to reach the cup to have it. So mind will help me to go out, no doubt. But ekagrata would mean I'm allowing I'm sitting relaxed. I'm letting the functioning operate. That is a very ideal state of ekagrata. Which means just allowing the thoughts, allowing the sensations, allowing the perceptions in completeness, allowing them to be absorbed in that sense, letting them fall in, and you keep yourself collected in it. Means हर चीज, हर thought मुझे घबरा नहीं रहा है. Suddenly, supposing you have to go somewhere and you have to catch a flight or you have to catch a train or something, and you realize that you overslept, or not only you overslept, you had booked an Uber. Before that, there is no water. Somehow there is a water burst, pipe has burst. So you were supposed to have a bath. You woke up late, your water pipe, there's no water in the thing. And for some reason or the other, the helper who was supposed to come to help you has also got late and is not coming. And the Uber you had booked has also suddenly cancelled himself, and you're already running late. What will happen to the mind? Ping pong. It will be ping pong everywhere, everywhere. That is scattering. All of it may be real, no doubt about it. These are real. They are bound to make you scatter. But what is this ekagrata means? My capacity to quickly, very quickly, hold the mind then and there before it has scattered me, before it scatters me away. I am able to perceive, oh, I woke up late. Before I start cursing myself, because there will be 1,000 things I'll say after that. We all know that, especially when I have a flight to catch. How much do I, oof, and everybody else along with me is at fault at that time. उसी दिन सब कुछ हो जाता है, गड़बड़ होता है उस दिन. And worse is the fear of losing the flight. How much that bombards your mind at that stage, that fear, I will miss my flight. That missing the flight is actually the real fear, because of which everything starts. What is ekagrata? Got late. Next perception is what? Before the rest of the thoughts rumble you up, collapse you in a way, and you get into panic, and then the body has to secrete its adrenaline to keep us pushing, and sometimes you have to do deep breathing. But by the time you're sitting in a cab and on the way, and you're telling the taxi fellow also, jaldi karo, jaldi karo, jaldi karo, jaldi karo, etc., etc., and then your heartbeat is racing, and all your body symptoms have started. And if it's summer, you're sweating. If it's winter, your hands have gone cold. So much has happened. And what was the objective? Catch a flight. It's as simple as catching a flight. What is that objective of catching a flight to go, maybe a business thing, maybe a family trip, maybe a holiday? But all of them, actually speaking, how consequential are they in the long run compared to your heart racing and your sweating and all the body symptoms that come up? How consequential is that? Samadhanam means, I'm not saying it's a very easy quality. I'm not saying that at all. I'm in fact giving Arjuna's example to say that it needs that much practice, but it is possible. Otherwise, Shastra would not tell us. And this is only at the initial stages that I'm talking. At the level at which we have not yet come into the topic of Vedanta, in everyday life, the capacity to hold the mind on focus. When I read this, by then we had already understood, or the society was already starting to sanction multitasking as a dynamic quality in you. People who can multitask are very productive and very efficient. And I'm obviously talking 30-40 years ago. Multitasking was considered to be extra point to your personality if you have the capacity to multitask. And when you read this, suddenly there's a contradiction. Samadhanam says, focus on what is in front of you. Multitasking says, focus on the things, 4-5 things together. Your capacity to handle a few things together is multitasking. Now, multitasking has its own whatever. I'm not going to advantage, disadvantage, I do not know. But that it is countering Samadhanam is a fact. There may be times you need to multitask. But if you don't appreciate that multitasking is not going to generate, in fact, now they have started saying once again, the few of the reports lately have started saying multitasking is what has contributed to a lot of stress in human beings. And one of the reasons for it is multitasking. When life was much less complicated or was a little more simpler in terms of handling only what is limited, internal things were lots, but there was still some sort of a mental quietude. You had more time to handle your mind. Ekagrata. This ekagrata means this is something that you may not hear very often, because the meaning of ekagrata, everybody would always say, which is not wrong, right? Your mind must focus. I am saying ekagrata is letting the mind so relaxed that everything falls in it without distraction. You are not going away with it. What is distraction? Going away with it. I'm busy studying here and then suddenly there's a doorbell. I have to go away to the doorbell. But I am focusing here and there is a doorbell. And if I'm ekagra to relative extent, I'm allowing the doorbell to as much fall as all the other words are falling. The division focus में hooding है. There is a hooding. That is, people call that as focusing. People understand concentration as hooding yourself. My understanding of ekagra is you don't need to hood yourself. You just don't need to do anything. And mind has the capacity to remain on whatever falls in it. It will remain if we do not flow off with it. Mind jata hai, ye bhi maine kaha. I made both the statements. Mind goes with the senses. But ekagra is that which prevents that. So when a person has ekagrata, means he can sustain the mind at will on the topic chosen. One of the very early stages of when I used to take classes, one of the things that at that time was very fresh for me. Now I'm an old person, now I can't do it. But at that time, one of the ways in which I would say is ekagrata, my testing of ekagrata would be throughout the class, I should be able to hear the words in such a way that without anything, later on, I should recollect the whole thing. Almost all. I can't say I will not that I did it for very long. No, I could sustain it for a little while. I felt very happy I did it, and then I think it just got off after that. I could never do that again after that. But the fact that you could hold your mind for the whole class, and then after the class I would write the whole class down, almost verbatim, because it was a test of the mind. You were just testing it. My idea was just to see how ekagra can I get, as is. At that time, this was the meaning that I brought to myself. That focus I knew I'm going to lose all sentences, lot of them in between. Just allow, just be there. And at that point, till today, those classes are one. I have the smell of that perception alive. I have the feel of that weather alive. I didn't register at that time that I actually knew the time of the day. So much information had already gone in. Why? because my mind was not focused out. You just leave it. Leave it in a state of relaxation. There is no urgency, especially when you come to Vedanta. And when the topic is Vedanta, as we move now a little forward, I'm going to add on some exercises or something. Once we finish this, when you come to Vedanta, you realize जिंदगी में कुछ और जरूरी है ही नहीं. Nothing is primary, nothing is important. Everything is a byproduct and everything will have to be done. Everything we will do to our best of ability. But what is necessary is just this. This means, of course, again, as I said, mind is not just here, but our habit of saying mind here. Mind remaining in a state of relaxation that the thoughts can be objectively looked at. Just looking at them. शांति से अपने आप आएंगे जाएंगे पकड़ो मत किसी को भी till we come to this state of inner relaxation, and all these things are only helping for that. That is why chitta ekagrata is the last of the shataka sampatti. It is not the first. Means mind में control होगा, senses में control होगा, endurance hoga. Mind would have been developed by all these qualities and traits in it. It'll have a strength. When you have a control of mind, what is the outcome of it? It's a strong mind. Not the way we understand strong as this today. I mean, the mind has the strength of character in it. The mind is a powerful mind, is a very strong mind. In fact, the Shastra says, those whose minds have been trained through these qualities, who have acquired these qualities, इनके मन में even a thought, one thought, fructifies. That's the strength of a human mind. संकल्प कहते हैं इसको. In one of the meanings of sankalp is this. But even just sitting in a relaxed way, आपके मन में एक इच्छा बनती है या एक thought आता है. You have nothing much to do, and somehow it fructifies. It has that is the quality of capacity of a human mind. Even talking these things today, ऐसा लगता है ऐसे what? It's like, yeah, बड़ी बातें करते हैं. What are they talking? How is it possible? And it's so I always use so idealistic this is. It's like होता होगा, but what is there in relevance today? The same thing is in relevance today. Why are we the way we are? Have become. If this is my capacity of my mind, look at the joy, the joy of just recognizing that a mere thought can also become a reality. मन में जो है वो मन विचार एक thought can express as a reality. And when you see later, you realize it is only our thoughts that are expressing as realities. It is we who think that this is real outside and I am like the one who is an inconsequential being. But the truth is, it is your thoughts that are producing the reality, that are generating the reality, sense of reality around you. That sense of reality, and it is not the thoughts later on, it is you yourself. That's like when we come to real Vedanta. I'm sticking to the topic here. The topic is, mind has so much capacity. This is also, in fact, most of the times the practices, what is called in general terms, meditation. 6th chapter of the Gita is entire talking about chitta ekagrata. The test of it is, when actually, the example they give is, in a windless place, the flicker of the flame, how the flame remains steady in a windless place. So the mind chitta can become ekagra. That's the level of ekagrata that it can obtain. It has actually. I say it has. Natural hai hum sab mein. A human mind is a tremendous force. That's why probably it's good in a way we don't recognize it. When they talk of asuras in the Puranas and etc., the strength that they gain, out of what is those asuric tendencies? Are all this mind that has been channelized in a wrong direction. Same mind. When you channelize it with the help of ego and in the senses, you develop asuri qualities. The same mind, when you focus means directed towards your being, the higher self, higher values, higher qualities, you become asura ka opposite is sura. You have divine qualities. You see them, you don't practice them, they just come, they surface. That's my best point, best example to say how the seed in season just suddenly surfaces to become the sapling. When the season comes, the seed is already there. Correct time, the sapling emerges. Whatever was required for the seed to become the sapling was already within the seed. All that happened was conduciveness. That conduciveness started the fructification process. So when we hold with these values, why Shama, Dama, Adi, Shataka, Sampatti is the most, when I'm talking here to us, all of us in the world here, to us this is the most essential lesson. When Vairagya grows enough in a person that he moves on to another stage of interest in life, there is another depth that comes into it, which next definition from Vivek Chudamani will help us understand. But here, what is it? That capacity to keep yourself allowing things to flow in you. Let them reach you. So all kinds of meditations, generalized speaking, like we say, okay, our most favorite one is just watching the breath go in and out. When you practice, those who practice pranayam probably are well aware, but the specific one that I really find very useful is when you just focus on the air going in the nostrils and coming out. Focus as in just see it. Don't focus. When we say focus, don't hood. Not like that. Just see. And just observe. In a very casual, relaxed way, just observe. आनंद है इसमें. हमें कुछ करना थोड़ी है यहाँ, कुछ बनना थोड़ी है, कुछ पाना थोड़ी है. I am just in a state, nothing to do, 2 minutes बीच में, in and off. Throughout the day I can do this. In and off. I can't always, I don't have to sit like that. Steady, not move any part of my body or muscle. Nothing so, and then I close my eyes, and then I'm supposed to be observe. Chill. Just chill. Anytime. Just let the breath be. The more you practice this, the more you begin to appreciate that the temperature difference becomes so vivid to you of the air going in and the air coming out. Because बाहर से अंदर ठंडी आ रही है, अंदर से बाहर थोड़ी गर्म होती है. And it's very interesting. It happens in every breath of yours. But the joy of having recognized it suddenly. Oh my, and sometimes I breathe from one nostril, sometimes you breathe from the other nostril, and they have their own theories and philosophies. In the morning you have this, which yoga school explains a little better, I think. Not our topic so much. But Chitta Ekagrata is the capacity to let the mind remain in, I will say, neutral state. Alert, active within. It's not dull. It's not sleepy. Neutral state mind is bound to be alert if you have all the others moving along with you, all the other qualities also with it. That means the fundamental point becomes when my mind is not riddled with ahankar and ragadvesh. Thoughts are all, if you observe your thoughts, I don't want to premature say it, but just observe your thoughts for a day. This is the right stage to do. When you have more of Vedanta going into your system, the same exercise may not work. At this point, when you don't have much Vedanta, this exercise is an excellent exercise. Because अभी हम नेचुरल स्वभाव में बैठे हैं, अपने प्राकृत स्वभाव, जैसे हम अपने आप को देखते हैं वैसे हम हैं. Later on, Vedanta is going to bring thoughts to me. At this point, I think whoever I am, and I will have all kinds of everything in me. I will have karma, I'll have krodh, means I'll have anger, I'll have jealousy, I'll have everything in me. I'll have insecurity, I'll have insufficiency, I'll have deficiency. I have a feeling of everything. Too much. It's an interesting thing. If you just observe a day, take a day to just observe. Don't interfere with it. Yeah? A lot of people do journaling and things like that. Don't worry about anything. Just pop in and pop out of your thoughts. What am I thinking? What is my, it's almost like that. Pop in and pop out and just collect the base of your thoughts. And then later on you'd realize that all of it is actually coming from the base of ahankar or ragadvesh. इन दोनों का बेस बाद में एक और निकलेगा, अज्ञान. But abhi ke liye, it is ahankar and ragadvesh. That is keeping my mind disturbed. It's keeping it always, like I gave the example, dosa tawa pe, garam dosa tawa pe. Pani chitko. Those who make rava dosa know it, how hot your tawa should be. And when you put that hot tawa, and if you like your rava dosa, and you realize that jali on that has come because it was hot and you put that there. It had to be liquidy enough and for that jali. And that is what you enjoy. But imagine the water going, that trembling over it. Our minds are like rava dosas on the hot plate. Thrown all the time, in some raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, the 7 vices. All of them will belong to where that is the only thing that's losing our ekagrata. To the extent I handle that through viveka, vairagya, mind control, endurance, all these qualities when they come together, and later on, there's still more to add on. When they come together, you realize that the mind, I may have the capacity to just leave it as it is. शांत होके बैठता है ये. इतना मुश्किल भी नहीं है ये. मुश्किल है part which is handling my ragadvesh, my excessive likes and my hatreds and my jealousies, and that is a difficult part actually. Because the ego is so caught up with it that you just don't want to leave them. But it becomes very easy to grow out of it when you have the higher objective. What is a higher objective? That these are what we are talking as a relative peace of mind is my primary requirement for any higher knowledge to take place. If I don't have a quiet mind, if I don't have a relaxed mind, then any amount of my listening on you are Brahman, you are Brahman, you are Brahman, I tell you, at some point it becomes like a sitar ka toota hua wo jo hota na, फिर भी बजाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो. Especially on veena. Those who play the musical instruments, imagine one of your notes irritating you. Because you are Brahman, you are Brahman, you are Brahman after your mind is disturbed mind with all its own everything inside. And then Vedanta class tells you are Brahman. Very often people want to just hit the teacher. क्या यार लगे रहते हैं एक बात बोलते रहते हैं, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है इनको. अभी my problem is this and they are saying you are Brahman. But they finished the class long before. You did not attend, or you were not seeing the importance of it, or they failed to show you the importance that your Brahman is the last lesson. And there's no solution till you come to the last. There's no final solution till you come to the last one. And all the quietude of the mind in itself is a great joy. Aram se, relaxed mind, letting things flow. There is so much natural joy within. This chittaikagrata. Agra. Pick the word agra. जो आगे है, जो हमारे आगे अभी है. So once this class is over, जो आपके आगे अब है. Once that is over, जो आपके आगे अब है. Whatever, what in general terms would be being in the present. I think it is Thich Nhat Hanh who made this into a big spiritual practice. It is a beautiful practice, no doubt. Through that you help. It's a correct thing. Being in the present moment. People identify with this so much because that is what is Chitta Ekagrata. Being in the present moment. Fully being. But the point is, who will make you understand, or how do you understand what is it to be in the present moment? What is that process? Because the minute I try to say, let me be, just be, my mind goes off. We said in the initial classes, mind की आदत है, उसको जरा सा छोड़ दो, कहाँ जाता है? Past में, future में, और present में excited रहता है. मुझे ये करना, मुझे ये करना, मुझे ये करना, इसके बाद ये करना, इसके बाद ये करना, है ना? और जब कुछ नहीं करना होता अभी, तो जब थोड़ी देर के लिए भी you're sitting, even if you watch a television serial, invariably you realize you do not watch it objectively. You are associating it with something or the other in your own self or your own mind. You identify with the character, you identify someone with the character. There is so much happening even in watching somebody's written play. किसी ने कोई play लिखा है, किसी ने कोई act किया है, ना किसी का imagination है, वो आप देख रहे हो, आपको खुद को पता है कि ये सारा का सारा creation है. And yet आप उसके साथ ऐसे जुड़ जाते हो, you start seeing yourself there. Or you find someone else there. Oh, this person is just like that character I know. Oh, this person is like that I know, etc., etc. You know? Just that aspect of being yourself, being in the moment. What is it to be in the moment? Just be. That is your mind when it is relaxed. And when does it get the relaxation? It gets the relaxation when it has done everything it is supposed to be doing. अगर राग द्वेष से काम किया है तो आपका मन कभी शांत नहीं होता है. जब हम करते हैं जो हमें करना है in spite of our राग द्वेष, करना है तो करना है. And then you realize how all these qualities start functioning. This aspect in one word will be Karam Yoga. Just doing, just karna hai to karna hai. That's it. I don't allow my likes and dislikes to interfere. Just karna hai. Chitta, dheere dheere. It's not going to be overnight. You told me what is the day today? 9th or 10th, whatever. And then after 1 week, next week, you say, I did it, but nothing happened. My mind is not so quiet still. No. Till your mind questions, till your mind relaxes. Till then, whether it takes 1 week, it takes 10 years, it takes 200 years. It is bound to happen. And it doesn't take 200 years. It's just a matter of saying, obviously. It doesn't even take 10 years. It only takes a few weeks and few months of khali kehne ki baat hai, so that we don't go off result oriented again. The fact remains, when you just do what is to be done, the kind of relaxation that you get in the mind, that is where ekagrata you will know. वो relaxed mind में you will recognize ekagrata. Otherwise, our minds are justified today to have a lot of ragadvesh, to have a lot of desires, to have a lot of wants, ambitions, and it is justified in today's world. But that they do not contribute to your well-being. Chitta ekagrata means the state of your mind. Holding it for as long as it is required. Holding it means not with will in that sense. Yes, you've chosen this, therefore that is all the will is. And now I am relaxed enough for everything to flow. That is the meaning of Chitta Ekagrata. Chitta word again, as I said before, translation is mind, easier to understand, but Chit is that one of the most difficult words actually to have a translation for and explanation for. Chit is just consciousness, awareness. Chit is, so when the mind here means chit, jab chit as is hai, it is ekagra when it is in the present, it is in the moment. So you will be alert of all the senses that are operating. What you're smelling and seeing and hearing and tasting and touching, that ekagrata. Whatever is in front of me, my chit is on it. आराम से, without interference from inside. मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता, मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मुझे ऐसा नहीं, मुझे वैसा नहीं, मुझे all that, but you can't understand the gravity of this till you actually become observant of your thoughts. When you get into the habit of just observing your thoughts, that's where you understand the gravity of this. Chitta ekagrata is not difficult. It's actually very natural. After some time, it's natural. It's like, how you go to a swimming pool or dubki laga ke bahar, or you go to a river and dubki lagao bahar. Chitta ekagrata is like, if your mind is in a state of relaxation, dubki lagai, what needs to be done, do, come back, dubki lagai, etc. So it's like literally popping in and popping out. But ekagra. You're not a dissipated person. You're not a scattered being. Like in English, the saying goes, chicken without a head. Doing 1,000 things and nothing has got rectified. I can be blamed as one for it. And it's like just do. Not finished one, picked up another. Not finished one, picked up another. Not finished one, picked up another. Then come back to the first one, and then there's so many of them added already till then. So, as I said again, all these things are not in comparison of right or wrong. It is to say that for Atma Jnanam, for knowledge to establish in a person, there is some kind of a fertile soil. Your chitta has to be of a specific kind of a expression. And that specific expression is not a created expression. That specific expression comes when all that I create, I stop. Letting it be as is. So with this, for now, we'll continue with this tomorrow, with the next definition also of Chitta Ekagrata and a little more of that. And once I finish this, that is quite likely, we'll do some sort of I'm going to try, I'm not promising, but I want to say this so that I make myself do it. Otherwise, I won't make myself do it. We will do some sort of exercises on these qualities. Both ways. There are two ways. One is the instant remedial exercises, which will be more Laukik exercises, which is not really the Shastra Drishti, but it is necessary sometimes as band-aids. So those exercises are just for a band-aid culture. But the true meaning of the Shastra is only when it talks. So we'll talk about it both. But tomorrow we'll finish Samadhanam. And Mumukshatvam maybe we'll do after we do the exercises. Because Mumukshatvam is a byproduct. The more you have this, the more Mumukshatvam you will have. So you cannot have any practice on Mumukshatvam. But these qualities you can grow into. This is entire personality management. This is entire mind management. If I have to make a workshop, it will be mind management. Entire mind, that you will not see it or hear it in that sense. The depth is like that in it. So tomorrow we'll finish this, and hopefully next week. Otherwise, as soon as possible. Okay, with this, I will end the class. And आप follow करेंगे R.K. Arora ji, Uncle ji. You'll follow the invocation afterwards? R.K. Arora ji? I think his internet's not there. It's showing red bars. Someone else wants to...
दीप्ति जी मैं हूँ, लेकिन मैं इस समय नहीं कर सकता.
अच्छा, ठीक है. So someone else wants to follow? Yeah, Megha. You can do it yourself, or you want me to follow me?
I can try. I haven't done this myself, but I can try it.
Yeah, try.
Om Sarvesham Swastirбhavatu Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhavet.
Just one. Sarve Santu Niramaya. The Visarga there.
Okay, Niramaya. And after Niramaya, are there two dots or is it a her?
That two dots is called Visarga.
So
it sounds like a h, but it's basically just a sound, aspirated sound.
Okay.
Niramaya. So
Niramaya.
Niramaya.
Okay. Fine. The other one, Deepti ji, you do, I'll follow you. That one's very complicated.
Yeah. Only in the beginning. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam.
Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam.
Prajabhyah Paripalayantam.
Prajabhyah Paripalayantam.
This is a Sandhi rule we just applied, but the fa that you did, the Visarga ki jagah fa, that is a Sandhi rule. Otherwise, it's a Visarga.
Okay, but it sounds like a f, like Hindi ka jo fa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like a fa because the Visarga is followed by pa.
Okay.
Ba. So that's why it is a fa. Otherwise, if you do not chant it, then it will be Prajabhya Paripalayanta.
Okay.
Nyayena margena mahim mahishaha.
Nyayena margena mahim mahishaha.
Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam.
Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam niyam.
Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu.
Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu
Nityam.
Nityam. Oh, I didn't write the ta. That's what I was wondering. I had written niyam in my register. Okay.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
We'll do the two lines again. Go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam.
Go brahmanebhyam shubhamastu nityam.
Go ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्
गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्.
The bhyash shubham.
There are two shas, one half and one full.
There is one half. That one half is again a visarga. So it is
Okay.
actually go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam. But in chanting, we have made it a half sha.
Okay, so it's go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam.
Correct. Very good. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu.
Lokas samastas sukhino bhavantu.
Again here it is lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. So
They're the visargas, the half S's.
samasta sukhino bhavantu.
Half sirs, I meant.
Yes,
Lokas samastas sukhino bhavantu.
The second, the two sirs are coming together. Loka samasta sukhino.
Okay. Lokas samastas sukhino bhavantu.
Correct, correct. Kale varshatu parjanyaha.
Kale varshatu parjanyah.
Prithvi sasya shalini.
Prithvi sasya shalini.
Deshoyam shobharahitaha.
Deshoyam shobharahitah.
Brahmana santu nirbhayaha.
Brahmana santu nirbhayaha.
Brahmana santu nirbhayaha.
Brahmana santu nirbhayaha.
Brahmana.
I always make this thing. Brahmana santu. No, still not there. Brahmana santu nirbhaya.
Correct. Brahmana santu nirbhayaha.
Brahmana santu nirbhaya.
Correct, correct. Very good. Very good. Yes. So with this, end the class now.